There are moments in life that create a clear divide, before and after. Moments so unforeseen, so shocking, that they shatter everything you once believed to be solid and unshakable. One such moment happened to me on an ordinary Tuesday evening. It started like any other day. I had just left the office, my thoughts tangled in unanswered emails, unplanned dinner, and exhaustion of daily routine. The streets bustled with life, headlights glimmering on the slick pavement as a light drizzle began to fall. As I walked toward my car, searching my pockets for my keys, I sensed someone approaching. "Chris Walker?" a voice called out. I turned. A man I didn't recognize stood under the dim glow of the parking lot lights. He was tall, dressed in a dark hooded sweatshirt, his face obscured by shadows. Something about him unsettled me. "Yes," I replied cautiously. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small black USB drive, holding it between two fingers. "Take this," he said, his tone void of emotion. "You're going to want to see what's on it." My heart pounded. "What is this? Who are you?" "You'll find out soon enough," he muttered before turning away. Within moments, he disappeared into the night, swallowed by the fog and the crowd like a ghost. I stood frozen, the USB drive cold against my palm. Every instinct screamed that this was trouble, that I should throw it away and walk away. But curiosity is a relentless force. It drags you forward even when you know you shouldn't go. Sliding into my car, I shut the door and stared at the device in my hand. My mind raced with possibilities. A scam? A mistake? Some kind of work-related leak? Maybe confidential information accidentally passed on to me. But deep down, in a place I didn't want to acknowledge, I already knew. This was about Emily. When I got home, the apartment was quiet. Emily wasn't there. She had texted earlier, working late. Don't wait up. Not unusual. Her job at the advertising agency often kept her late. The endless meetings of last-minute work trips. I had stopped questioning them long ago. But lately, something had felt off. And now, I was about to find out why. I tossed my jacket onto a chair, powered on my laptop, and hesitated before plugging in the USB drive. A single folder appeared on the screen. Its label sent a chill down my spine. "Watch me." I clicked. Inside was one file, a video. My stomach twisted as I double-clicked. The screen went black for a second, then the footage began. A hotel room. Modern. Expensive-looking. Dimly lit. The camera angle suggested it had been deliberately placed there. The bed was unmade, as if recently used. Then the door opened. Emily stepped inside. She wasn't dressed for the office. No laptop. No exhaustion from a long workday. Instead, she wore only a lacy red bra and matching underwear, her blonde hair cascading over her bare shoulders. I stopped breathing. Then he appeared. Tall, muscular, dark-haired, confident. He closed the door behind him, locking it with a casual flick of his wrist. Like this was routine. His arm slid around Emily's waist, and she leaned into him, smiling. A smile I hadn't seen in months. My grip tightened on the edge of the desk, nails digging into the wood. She trailed her hands down his chest, pulling him closer. He murmured something in her ear, and she laughed, a laugh that used to belong to me. Then he kissed her, deeply, slowly, possessively. She responded without hesitation, pressing her body against his, her fingers tangling in his hair as though she couldn't get enough. The air between them crackled with undeniable chemistry, intense, electric, familiar. My pulse roared in my ears. I wanted to stop watching, but I couldn't. The stranger's hands moved over her freely, tracing her body in ways that once belonged to me alone. Emily let out a soft sigh as he lifted her onto the bed, her legs wrapping around him effortlessly, so naturally that it sent a sharp twist through my gut. My jaw clenched so tightly I thought my teeth might crack. But he didn't stop. He took his time, savoring every moment, his fingers sliding along the delicate straps of her lingerie. She arched against him, a quiet moan slipping from her lips as he whispered something in her ear. This wasn't a mistake, not a fleeting lapse in judgment. It was practice, rehearsed. I could see it in the way their bodies moved together, how she reached for him instinctively, guiding him. She had done this before, with him, All those late nights at the office, the endless work trips, nothing more than well-crafted lies. While I was working overtime, killing myself to provide for our future, she was here, in this room, with him. A suffocating weight settled on my chest. I shut the laptop abruptly, my breath shallow and uneven. My wife, my Emily, was a liar, a traitor, a manipulative fraud. Rage burned through me, hot and consuming, my hands trembling as I fought the urge to smash something. I should have felt heartbreak, devastation. But all I felt was fury. A deep, smoldering fury that made my fingers twitch, my veins pulse with heat. I exhaled sharply and reopened the laptop, my eyes locking onto frozen frame on the screen. Her face, radiant with pleasure, her betrayal etched into every detail. I didn't hesitate. I uploaded the video to a live streaming page, ensuring that the world would see what she had done. For those who really wanted the truth, I included everything, every recording, every intimate moment she had shared with him. There would be no hiding from this, no twisting the story in her favor. She wanted to deceive me? Fine. Now, she'd know what it was like to be exposed, to feel the weight of humiliation pressing down on her. I wasn't just going to confront her. I was going to ruin her. I didn't go home right away. My fingers gripped the steering wheel, so hard my knuckles turned white. The engine hummed beneath me, my foot pressing heavier on the gas pedal as my thoughts spiraled. The video replayed in my mind, each frame seared into my memory. Emily, my wife, the woman I had sacrificed everything for. I saw her again, the way she smiled at him, the way she let him touch her, the way she kissed him with a passion I hadn't seen in years. A bitter laugh escaped me. I could have crashed the car right then, driven straight into a wall, just to end this unbearable pain. But I wouldn't give her that satisfaction. No, she was going to suffer first. And not just suffer, she was going to be destroyed. I forced a deep breath, loosening my grip just slightly. If I wanted to do this right, I couldn't act impulsively. I needed a plan that left no room for doubt, no chance for her to manipulate the truth. I wasn't going to be the pathetic husband begging for answers, reduced to tears in some courtroom while she played the victim. I would expose her. Everyone would know. Her parents, my parents, our siblings, her friends. She had built an image of the perfect wife, the devoted partner. I would rip that mask off and show the world who she really was. A deceitful, selfish, heartless woman who had taken my love and shattered it without a second thought. But first, I needed more than just a video. I needed undeniable proof. I forced myself to breathe, to slow down. The moment I stepped through that door, I couldn't let her see what I knew. I had to watch her, listen to every excuse, every carefully crafted lie she told with a straight face. So I drove home. The setup. The house was dark when I arrived. Emily wasn't back yet. Good. I sat at the kitchen table, my laptop open, the USB drive still plugged in. The video remained paused on the screen, her expression frozen in betrayal-laced bliss. My stomach churned. I shut the laptop and exhaled slowly. I checked my phone. Nothing from her. No texts. No check-ins. Just silence. Then, just before midnight, I heard the front door click open. Showtime. Emily stepped inside, her coat damp from the rain. She flicked on the hallway light and froze when she saw me sitting at the table. "Oh," she said, startled. "You're still up." I forced a smile. "Yeah, couldn't sleep." She hesitated, then walked into the kitchen, her heels clicking against tile. "Work was crazy today," she sighed. I just nodded, watching, waiting. The game had begun. All I wanted was a quick shower and to crash in bed. I studied her closely, searching for even the slightest flicker of guilt. Nothing, not a hint of remorse. She was a masterful liar. "Long day?" I asked, keeping my tone light casual. "The worst," she groaned, rubbing her temple. Karen from accounting completely botched a bunch of invoices. I had to stay late fixing her mess. I nearly laughed. She didn't even hesitate. Karen from accounting. I had just watched a video of her tangled in bed with another man. And here she was, lying straight to my face as if it were second nature, under the table, my hands curled into fists, but I forced my expression to remain neutral. "That sucks," I said evenly. "You should get some rest." She flashed me a smile, the kind meant to fool a naive man. "I will. Good night, babe." And just like that, she turned and walked upstairs, completely oblivious that I knew everything. I gave her 5 minutes. When I heard the water start running, I moved fast. Her phone was on the nightstand, unlocked. My pulse pounded as I picked it up and started scrolling, straight to the messages, past the usual family chats, coworkers, old friends, until I found it, Ryan Redart. I tapped the thread open, and there it was, the evidence I needed, messages stretching back for months. "Ryan, you look so damn good tonight. I can still taste you." "Emily, you're going to get me in trouble, winking face." "Ryan, I love knowing your mind when he's not around." "Emily, I can't wait for tomorrow." Same time, same place? Tomorrow. They were planning to meet again. My breath hitched, adrenaline surging through my veins. Every excuse, every manipulation, every time she made me second-guess my own instincts, it was all there in black and white. It was over. I forwarded the entire conversation to my phone, making sure I had every last word. Then I pulled up my contacts and typed a single message, sending it to both of our families. "I need you all at my house tomorrow at noon. No questions. Just be there. It's about Emily." I set her phone back exactly as I found it, and then I waited the confrontation. The next morning, I barely spoke to her. She carried on as usual, laughing, sipping her coffee, completely unaware of what was coming. By noon, the house was packed. My parents, her brother, my sister, everyone who mattered. Emily glanced around, uneasy. "What's going on?" I checked my watch. "I'll explain in an hour." Her eyes narrowed. "Chris, you're acting—" I cut her off. "In an hour?" She exhaled sharply, but she didn't push. An hour later, I got in my car, and the family followed in their own vehicles. Not a single one of them had any idea where we were going until we pulled up to the hotel where Emily and Ryan had planned their next rendezvous. My blood ran hot when I saw our car already in the parking lot. They were inside. Perfect. I stepped out, turned to the family, and said 2 words. "Follow me." No one questioned it. We strode through the lobby, past the front desk, straight to the elevators. I already knew the room number from their messages. I knocked. Silence. I knocked again, harder this time. Footsteps. Then the door creaked open. Ryan stood there, shirtless, hair disheveled, his expression shifting from confusion to sheer panic as he saw the group behind me. And then Emily appeared behind him, wrapped in a thin hotel robe, her hair damp from the shower, her breath hitched, her face paled. And in that moment I saw it, not fear of losing me, fear of being exposed. I stepped forward, my voice too calm. "Emily," I said, "do you have something you'd like to explain to everyone?" Her lips parted, but no words came out. Then the chaos erupted. Her mother broke into sobs. Her father's face flushed crimson with fury. My sister turned away in disgust. And Ryan? He did what cowards do best. Slammed the door in our faces. But it didn't matter. The damage was done. And Emily knew it. Her whole body trembled as her eyes darted between the furious, heartbroken faces of her family. I saw the exact second it hit her. There was no way out. Without a word, she turned and ran, past the elevators, down the hall. She didn't plead, didn't try to explain. She knew there was nothing left to say. Her father called after her, voice cracking, "Emily," but she never looked back. The divorce. I never saw Emily again after that. She didn't come home, didn't call, didn't fight for anything. And honestly, that was fine by me. The next day, I filed for divorce. With the texts, the videos, the witnesses, there was nothing to contest. Her lawyer barely put up a fight. The house? Mine. The cars? Mine. The savings? Mine. Emily walked away with nothing. No home. No dignity. No family left to stand by her side. She had built her world on lies, and when it all crumbled, she had nothing left to hold on to. The end. 3 months later, the final divorce papers arrived in the mail. I didn't feel relief. I didn't feel sadness. I just felt done. She had shattered our marriage, and I had shattered her life in return. Now, I was finally free.